the topic of that girl lifestyle. It's about self-discipline, waking up at 6 a.m., journaling, exercising, and living that hustle life. It seems to be like the new trend on YouTube and Pinterest, living that productive life and doing things that help you get going for the day. What do we do to get ourselves going in the morning? What routine do we have? Does it help, or is it just a new buzzword that everyone's just in it for the trend? We'll find out on today's episode.
All right, thanks for the intro, Han. I think I get the concept of that girl, but I'm actually not that sure. So, what is that girl lifestyle?
I guess it's like, when you search on YouTube and you search up the keyword that girl or it girl lifestyle, I think that's another keyword that people are using. It's about how these YouTubers, they film themselves waking up at like 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. in the morning, starting their day and like
Mhm.
drinking lemon water in the morning and doing some
Oh,
yoga in the morning, have their quiet time and their start of the day, getting everything together. I mean, it's really aesthetically pleasing to watch in vlogs. They like mix with the colors and it's so clean. Everyone's just in it because it's so productive and it's like the new
mm.
trend, I think, that's online. So yeah, I wanted to talk about it today because are you guys aware of this? Do you do any sort of things to get your day productive or get your life going?
So I wasn't aware of this new terminology, but now that I think about it, I am trying to guide myself or trying to gear myself towards that girl lifestyle. Like not recently, but last week I just had a feeling that, hey, since I'm at home all the time, I need to feel like I am doing something productive. And what I've been doing for the past 4 months was waking up at 7:50. I don't know why I put it at 7:50 and not 8 or 7:30. I just put it at 7:50 because it makes me feel better that I'm in the sevens. So, so I can say that I wake up around 7 o'clock when people ask me. So I wake up at 7:50 and then I naturally wake up and then I make myself a coffee. I do some oatmeals and chia seeds. I check some emails in the morning. Currently, I watch all my idol videos just to, get my day going, just to brighten my
Mm.
day. So having, I think, a set routine really helps. Like even if, let's say for me, it's just watching like idol videos really early in the morning. It's the fact that I woke up at 7:50 and I'm consistent that made me feel like accomplished something, And it doesn't have to be
Mm.
really quickly. I think you can take little baby steps at a time to really gear yourself towards that lifestyle. I also am trying out a new hobby. Like I restarted playing guitar again, learning songs from Taylor Swift, learning the chords. I bought myself a Bluetooth portable karaoke microphone so I can, instead of, watching 2 or 3 more hours of YouTube videos, I can sing 2 or 3 more hours, warm up my
Mm.
vocals, prep myself in case of any outside surprise stage appearances that I have to do, when like we go to bars and there's like a karaoke stage and then someone pushed me up against
Right.
like
Always be prepared. Always be
yeah.
prepared. Have a repertoire. Have a repertoire ready. Can I just say
I
it's also like something very Asian? Because that's like they
well
always all our aunties, like mom's friends, they'd be like, go up and sing, go up and sing. So it's like you always need
but
backup, be
that's the
ready
reason
at any
but
moment.
that yeah but that's the reason why I also relearned guitar because I want to be that girl that there's that guitar right in a like a
Ah, right.
party and then
It was
anybody
like
asks, oh, does anybody can play guitar? I can be the one that raises my hand and I'll strum some chords and
yeah.
people will be like, ooh, you really know how to play guitar, and I'll be like, yes, yes, I do.
Yes.
Taylor Swift songs.
Totally chill, as if like you totally were not prepared, but you've been prepared this whole
Exactly.
time.
Yeah. Like I'll be so nonchalant, but then I'm like ready. But yeah. And then just building habits. Like I'm starting to, build more habits, not just the waking up early. I want to do more. I used to be really good at skincare, but I let that all go when I came back to the
Mm.
States. So I'm slowly getting myself back to a skincare routine, trying to wake up and wash my face, trying to do a mask and not do no mask at all. all. Dude, I used to do math every other day. The last year me was like, wow, I don't even know how I did it.
Didn't you like, there was a couple of times where we had like a meeting and you had a mask on.
Yeah,
You're
that's
very
how
committed.
dedicated I am. Now you don't see anything. But yeah, let me hear you guys after my babble.
It was not a babble. It was, I mean, I feel like you're making better progress than I am because that girl's lifestyle, I'm very far from it, I feel. Mainly because I think also like another fact is I have a lot of outside factors affecting me at this point in life. Not now, but just a while, like last year, let's say, this past year. It's just a lot of family stuff. And during that time, I also had to like look after my gran. So it's like, I think in that moment, I kind of just let my own lifestyle go. I just keep thinking, oh, something new, always unexpected happens to me. So what's the point of getting a lifestyle in place where you always have to like break it? Didn't really look after myself that well. So I was very far from that girl lifestyle, even though you see it everywhere, in daily life. Yeah, I just ignored it. And now in this new year, especially I just turned my new age, I feel like things have started to settle a bit better where I can actually focus on myself. And currently I'm doing that. I'm trying to get back on track. Just basically getting your lifestyle like in control. That's where I see myself right now. And being a beginner, we can say, one of the things I'm doing right now is sorting out what I do, what is routine for me, and what is a lot of outside factors for me, and what parts am I doing good. So for example, at work, I know that's the one thing I can actually keep constant is that I try my best to not overtime. I don't know, for some reason these days I can like really focus and just make sure I get things done before end of work day. It's like I get it within like whatever happens. Like if I need to do this thing fast, I'll do this thing fast so that I just leave on time. So I feel like that's one thing I'm doing really good at. The other thing is maybe every day at least I'm keeping some things in routine. So when I come back, I rest. I go watch maybe a few episodes. I chat with my sister. So these are things I'm doing good at. And then on the other hand, you look at the bad stuff. And currently my bad habit, very, very bad habit until now is sleeping late. It's not just, sleeping past midnight. It's sometimes for no reason. I just stay up late. And it's like, it's 1 o'clock. You should be sleeping. But I'm like, why not flip through a few more Instagram reels, huh? And then it turns up being 2 and 2:30. And sometimes it gets really bad because even though like the next day, you have something going on, sometimes I just can't control myself. The minute you lie in bed and being comfortable, like it just, I don't know, maybe that I'm calling that as a habit now because what else could be the reason why I'm doing this every day? So that is one bad habit and I'm trying, but not trying to fix it. But yes, that is one thing that girl lifestyle would not have, the sleeping late.
Yeah, I wanted to chip in about you talking about like lying down during bedtime and watching the phone. It's so hard to stop. What my brother actually mentioned, the reason why you can't sleep is the fact that your heart is stimulating because of the excitement or the happiness of watching these reels. And once you get that, your dopamine rises and your melatonin does not rise. And melatonin helps you sleep and calms you down. So I know it's such a struggle. I mean, I force myself. So what I actually do is 30 minutes before 12, stop watching YouTube videos and I just watch like TikTok videos because for me,
it's different.
Okay, let me tell you how it's different because YouTube videos, K-dramas, they're long, right? And every episode you want to continue. But actually TikTok reels, because they're short videos, after one video, you'll be like, okay, after this video, I'm done watching because there's no that excitement of what's going to come next. Or at least for me, that's how
because it's all random videos. Yeah, maybe half an hour before midnight, that would be a good idea. I think another reason why I watch so much at night is because I think after midnight, it's such a peaceful time. It feels like a time for yourself and you just don't want to let this like opportunity go. So you're like, try and drag it out. Yeah.
You don't feel bad for watching. Like I feel fairly guilty for watching shows and K-pop during like normal work hours that, from 9 to 5. These times of watching dramas Friday from 9 to 5 makes me feel like, oh my God, people right now are working and I'm just like watching and wasting my time away. Whereas the feeling's different when it's nighttime because your body is saying, or at least from my perspective, it's saying, oh, well, everybody is doing this right now at this time. Everybody is chilling. So
Like you're not alone.
Well, it's true that nobody sleeps very early here. So in a way, it's like acceptable to sleep late. But at the same time, it's really bad for you and especially for your eyes. So yeah, that is definitely one thing. I just know like it's constantly on my mind, but I don't know how to fix it. And I'm trying. I'm just listening to everyone's like suggestions and advice and how they do it. And I think that's also another way to like get your lifestyle back on track is actually just talk to people. Like I sometimes just chat with my colleagues just randomly, on any topic and see like what they do because you can sometimes get inspiration. You're like, oh, so this is what they're doing. I have two colleagues who are doing Pilates. I'm like, okay, this is something that they're thinking of like getting their lifestyle on track. Someone's also getting a driver's license. So it's like, okay, try and see where you're supposed to be in life based on others. But it really does help. It makes you think a bit more than trying to find the answer yourself because sometimes it's really hard to get to that answer when you really don't know much. I think other things also I agree with Andrew on starting something new that just adds like a spark of interest to your life. Recently for me, that's been like skateboard, which I've never done before, but it's always been on my bucket list. So I think that's also one thing that you can get your lifestyle in place is to do something you've always wanted to do. And then that kind of motivates you to push on to the rest of the day because you feel like you've actually achieved something in a way. And yeah, I guess that's my side of things. What about you, huh?
I mean, when I first wanted to pitch this idea for the podcast episode, it was when today is not a good day to record this because I didn't wake up that early, but it's the weekend, so I got to give myself some hours of sleep. Basically, for me, certainly after my trip back from Korea, I've been in this mode of like grind mode, I guess. So there's this thing in Korea, I think it's also popular everywhere else, called Miracle Morning. And you wake up really early, like at 6 or 7, just like set up yourself for the day. So it might include making your bed, washing up, like journaling. Some people write down some things that they want to do, accomplish today. Some might exercise and go to work. So that's like a little routine that they set up. And that's what I have for myself these days because I've been thinking, like I've been looking back, like reflecting on my life. And I was like, wow, I feel like I'm in this such a static mode these days. Like I'm not doing anything, but I have potential to do something. So why am I not doing it? And I was like, why am I making myself like I'm basically saying I don't have time because I'm so tired when I get back from work. I don't want to do anything. But the thing is I can also make time in the morning, set myself up for success later on. So that's what I've been doing. I like made my bed, grab water, eat my probiotics, and do some Bible and journaling. I just basically write down 3 things that I'm for sure I'm gonna do today so that I can make today very meaningful. And it could be just simple things like going to get groceries or like studying. And then I head to work and eat breakfast at office. It's actually a really good time to mingle as well because a lot of colleagues also come to office early. And that's one of the best times to just chat, get to meet actually people. So that's what I've been doing as my miracle morning, where it's like my setup for the day. And it really helps. It really feels like you're ahead of people because even by like 1 hour, it feels like I am doing more than what other people might be doing right now. So it really gets you confidence. It gets you going because you're already up. As soon as you see the clock, you're like, oh dang, I have so much time left. And you have this in Korean, it's called yoyu. It's like slacking time to do whatever you want. But I wanted to actually ask you guys as well because this concept of it girl lifestyle was really popular in Korea and a lot of what people were talking about it. I think one person brought up this idea that it's actually just aesthetic purpose. It's not for actual people trying to get work done. So for me, I've adapted this and I made it so much more simpler because I can't, keep up with the aesthetics. I can't keep up with the exercising every day and stuff. So I toned it down to just my simple routines in the morning. But I wanted to hear your thoughts. Do you think this is kind of like just a aesthetic that people came up with, or because for me I find it helpful, but I feel like others they have this pressure that they have to live up to this standard.
Right. I was gonna say like that girl lifestyle can also be what some consider as like the perfect lifestyle that you're supposed to have. So for me, I was like, oh, there was like an aesthetic to this. And then when I saw some of the videos that you mentioned, I'm like, oh, okay, now that makes sense. Everything is like smooth and there's very refreshing, all these images that they're giving you. So it does look like it's very calming to watch. But usually when you say that girl, it always connotates something a bit bad, or it's just something that's, we are not like that because they are able to do it. So it's like that girl that it gives you pressure.
I was gonna essentially say the same thing. If it wasn't for that kind of phrase, I wouldn't mind it. I think because I was living this life, that girl lifestyle last year. I drank lemon water every morning. I did a skincare routine. I exercise every day.
So I didn't think of that past you as that girl.
Yeah,
I just thought you
So
were living your life,
yeah, I thought I was just living my life. So I think the ideology or the concept of this routine is not a bad thing. But I think because people make it such a trendy word, it became an aesthetic lifestyle. If it wasn't just for this, a coined phrase, basically, that girl lifestyle, to me, it has a negative connotation because it's kind of like, oh, if you're not that girl, you're a bit worthless, or you need to live up to that girl expectation.
And sometimes it's not really our fault. Some of us can't really put in exercise every day for that, let's say half an hour. Like that's really a lot. As you mentioned, there are some people like after work it gets tiring, or they can barely wake up in the morning, or they have to like get to the transport in the morning. So it's like, where are you gonna fit into this like 30-minute exercise that you see in the that girl lifestyle, for example?
I wish instead of that girl lifestyle, it can change to baby steps lifestyle because in life, I think people are in phases, multiple phases, highs and lows, right? And when you're in your low phase, you tend to be sluggish, you tend to be stagnant, but I think it's okay because it's a phase, right? And when you're in your high phase, you're very productive, but it's not like you're going to be on your high phase 24/7, 365 days a year.
Yes, so that's a point made.
Yeah, you're gonna have these days. And then if you coin it as baby steps lifestyle, then you don't feel this pressure or this burden to live up to a aesthetic expectation.
I don't know about you guys, but I feel like since I was living in like a stagnant life, I was doing what I needed to do, but it just felt like I'm not doing a lot. When I saw these vlogs, it just gave me a new attitude. I needed like this whole switch. It just shifts me to a new ideology and a new attitude. So I tell myself I will get up early in the morning and I do it. And then it just makes me feel like, oh my God, yeah, I did it. Like I can do anything, So I think that's what I'm looking for. I get what Angela means. It's like this little accomplishment in life that you're just like, oh, I made my bed. Oh, I got up early. That makes this routine successful. Like it's not the aesthetic.
It's good to have like these videos afterward. I mean, you actually do get a bit of inspiration. Like, this is what other people are doing, This is something you can potentially do. So it's always good to refer. Otherwise, like you always would think like what you're doing is completely fine. And there are moments where, when you're stagnant, what else can I do in my life? What am I missing? And I think it's those moments that it really helps to get motivations like this from either these videos, or it's also just to look back on things that I liked as in my childhood and just recall what was it that you looked so forward to growing up, and then maybe incorporating some of the hopes that you have into your lifestyle now. I guess we're just adding like a meaningful thing every day, like small accomplishments to yourself every day.
Yeah.
I think that's the end goal of it.
And that brings us to the end of today's episode on the concept of that girl's lifestyle. We talk about how to be productive, try to stay out of that stagnant zone. We also explored about staying focused and maximizing our output. And I just hope that you guys remember that productivity or that girl lifestyle is not just about doing more or following that lifestyle. It's about doing what you truly want and taking that baby steps along the way. And I would also like to remind the listeners that productivity is a journey, not a destination. It requires consistent effort, that self-discipline, willingness to even take those baby steps in the beginning. So I want to wrap this up telling you guys to encourage and to reflect on the insights that we shared today and think about how you can apply them to your own life. And remember, again, those baby steps can lead to significant results, and it's a cumulative effect of these habits that really transform our lifestyle. So that's it. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode, That Girl Lifestyle. And if you haven't, please subscribe, like, and leave a rating for Ben Acorn and recommend this to all your family, friends can follow us on Instagram, Banana Corn PD, and come back and join us on our next episode. This is us. Bye.
Bye.